Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm at the airport, so hopefully the background noise is not too much. And I just wanted to record this quick video. Like, this is not my normal video for YouTube, but just in case anyone is looking for information out there and wanting to know what to expect as you're traveling from Nigeria back to Canada, or if you're part of the other countries that Canada quote and unquote banned. If you're like a Canadian permanent resident or Canadian citizen and you traveled to, I think it was Nigeria, Namibia, and some other countries as a result of the Omicron virus, this video might be helpful for you. So today is Wednesday, December 13. I think I've kind of lost track of time, and my flight left Nigeria on Tuesday, December 14 at 10:45 p.m. West African time, and we landed in. I flew with KLM, so we landed in Amsterdam, Schiphol at 5:10 a.m. whatever the time is. It's the same time zone with Nigeria, so we got here at 5:10 a.m. And we started trying to find information about the third country testing, because the Canadian government wanted anyone flying from distant countries to have a PCR done in the third country. That means whatever country you're laying over in, they want a PCR done. So I'm in Amsterdam Schiphol airport, and when we got in, my flight wasn't meant to be until 3:25 p.m. of that same day. So when we got in around 5, we started trying to get information from KLM staff on exactly what to do, but there wasn't anyone, because it was, number one, very early, and number two, it was just very early, and anyone we could talk to was confusing. They kept telling us to the help desk. When we went back, because they check your documents before you can fly, and so they asked for the PCR test, but of course we didn't have a PCR test from Netherlands. And mind you, we had all gotten tested in the last 24 to 48 hours in Lagos, Nigeria, and to get on board you needed to have a negative COVID test. So we all had that, and they were like, no, they cannot let us board until we have a negative COVID test taken here in Amsterdam. So we started scrambling around trying to find places where to get tested, and we had 3 options. One was Novamedic, and this was for Chinese and Asian passengers trying to fly into China. I asked, but someone said they were also letting other people get tested. So if you are in Chinese or of Asian descent, you can actually get tested there. But their testing place doesn't open until 11 a.m. and it's going to take 4 hours for your result to come out. So let's say I get there at 11, and there's a long queue, of course. And let's say I get tested at 11:30. So I have 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. So it means that I'm not going to have my result in time for boarding. Because even though my flight is at 3:25 p.m., boarding starts earlier. Boarding starts at 11:25. So that was like impossible for me to make. My second option was to go to a place called Test and Go, but it's in arrivals. So what that means is I have to go through immigration, and like I'm entering into Netherlands. Number one, I'm not a Canadian citizen. I don't have a Canadian passport. So that can only be done if I had a Canadian passport or a Schengen visa. I have neither of that. I just have a Canadian permanent residence card. So one of the girls I was with, who was also traveling from Nigeria, was Nigerian. She has dual citizenship, so she was able to leave where we were and go into arrivals. Hi. And go into arrivals, and she got tested, right? So she could leave the country technically and come back in just because she's a Canadian citizen. So she was able to go with our flight to Calgary. Our flight to Calgary was earlier than my flight to Toronto. And the last but not the least option, and mind you, all these tests are not free, so you pay a significant amount of money to get your test done. So the next option and the last option was to go to the KLM first aid place, where you get tested, but your test result will come up between 8 to 20 hours. So that means I'm not going to be flying out of Amsterdam on the day that I plan. So I had to go back to KLM and tell them to rebook. Luckily, unfortunately, I don't even know if I'm lucky or fortunate. They said the next flight leaves at the exact same time the next day. So I was able to get put on the flight for 3:25 p.m. for Thursday, December the now I've lost 16th or 17th. I don't know. I've lost track of time. So that's the whole process. I tried to book a hotel room. Everything is fully booked. So I'm just chilling around the hotel, rather around the airport, finding somewhere to stay, and until my test result comes back. They told me to come back at 8 p.m. tonight to get my test. So when my test comes back, I go back to KLM and they print me a new boarding pass. Then I can fly out tomorrow. And this is just, I'm still in the morning. It's not even noon yet. And I've gone through all of this. Of course, I've locked myself in the bathroom to cry because this is super frustrating. And the Canadian government ought to do better, considering the fact that when I get to Toronto, I'm going to get tested again. So hopefully that test is free. But we're hemorrhaging money. Our time has been wasted. We're being stressed. And we're just going through a lot just because we're Nigerians or we're from one of these countries that we've been banned. I feel like it's super discriminatory, but that's okay. It's part of life. And yeah, I just want to update you. I don't know what the process would be if you're flying through, let's say maybe Paris would have more opportunities for you to get tested, or if you're flying through Doha. And mind you, this has to be a PCR test, so it cannot be like a rapid antigen test. It has to be a PCR test. So wishing everyone all the best in this crazy time, and hoping that the government changes this rule, because it's super expensive, it's time wasting, it's stressful, and yeah, it makes no sense. So I hope this has been helpful on what to do and how to navigate this whole situation. I would suggest that you do your research on what testing is available in the airport before you go, so that way you have your mind ready on I'm either not going with my flight as intended, I would have to go the next day, so that way you can pack an extra change of clothes. Thank God I have my toothbrush, my toothpaste, and I had just a pair of sweatpants and another sweater in my backpack, so that kind of works out for me. But imagine if I didn't have toothbrush, toothpaste, and change of clothes. Maybe you can also book a hotel room if you have to wait for 24 hours or over 24 hours to fly again. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. I don't know, but yeah, this is just how it is. You cannot fly into Canada from any of the 10 red listed countries without a PCR test from your connecting country. So yeah, just plan better, and wishing you all the best as you travel. Safe travels, and we're hoping that these laws get changed. All right then, bye everyone.